Uh,
Big ball, fat, making my end. Fucking big killer, big ball, fat.
Yo, what's going on YouTube, man? You guys already know who it is, man. It's your boy, Sports God TV, where we talk sports like religion. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Click that notification bell so you could get notified when I upload. Share the content, jump in the comments. Let's get it cracking. All right, man. So the NFC Championship game was this was a great NFC Championship game. It is concluded, and the San Francisco 49ers stormed back from 17 down to take this game over in the second half over the Detroit Lions. Let me get into it, man. Detroit came out on fire, man, and the way the offense was clicking on that first drive, you can see, and throughout the game for that matter, right? You can see why Ben Johnson is highly, highly touted to be a head coach in the National Football League. Again, they even said it on a broadcast that he is tied to my Washington Commanders. The way that I seen those guys moving the ball up and down the field versus that great San Francisco but vulnerable defense, I would love to have Ben Johnson here in DC to see what he can put together with the weapons that we do have here in the nation's capital. Now on to the game. Like I said, the game was 34-31. The Lions on the first drive, a reverse play, little misdirection, man, had the San Francisco defense off balance. Jamison Williams took that reverse for 42 yards and a touchdown on the opening drive. I mean, they pounded the ball. They took a page out of Green Bay's book and pounded the San Francisco 49ers defense up front. That offensive line for the Lions is a big offensive line. They are nasty up front. You've seen gaping holes for Montgomery, which he finished with 93 yards and a touchdown. He was running hard. He had big lanes to run through. Jabari Gibbs had 45 yards with a touchdown as well. Jared Goff, man, went 25 for 41 for 273 and a touchdown. Dan Campbell has done what Dan Campbell has did all season, and actually since he's became the head coach of the Detroit Lions, and that's just to be aggressive and to have people to say, why did he leave 6 points on the scoreboard as far as 2 field goals, which none are guaranteed, but at the same time, you got there by being aggressive. People don't count the drop by Reynolds. He dropped it. I mean, Goff stepped up in the pocket, put that ball there. You got to make that catch in that situation. You just have to. I mean, to be up 24-7, they kept showing Motown live, the fans going crazy. I heard it was over 30-something thousand plus at the stadium at Ford Field watching the game on the jumbo screen, and rightfully so. They had a right to feel good about their Detroit Lions because they were putting the game out of reach at some point. But if you're a football fan, and as good as San Francisco is, you knew that they were prone to make a run. They were getting ready to make a run. You just knew it. And that third quarter was it. I mean, they outscored the Detroit Lions in the second half 27-7. You know, it started, with the fumble by Gibbs, the missed 4th down conversion. San Francisco, Brock Purdy, 20 for 31, 267, a touchdown and an interception. Christian McCaffrey, 90 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. Brandon Ayuk caught a touchdown with a hit right off of the defender's face mask and popped up. He made a great catch on that play as well. And then Nick Bosa, man, had 2 sacks on Goff. Fred Warner had a wonderful game on the defense side of the ball. San Francisco strapped down in the second half. And you can start seeing that momentum switch during the contest. But for Detroit to come out and be so dominant and easily just moving the ball up and down the field versus the San Francisco 49ers defense, you can see that the game plan that the Detroit Lions had in place, it was flawless, man. It was just flawless. The movement, the space that those guys had when catching the passes or even running the ball. I mean, overall, it just looked like that Detroit was going to head to their first Super Bowl in franchise history. But San Francisco, man, you got to give it up to those guys. Those guys took some of the best punches that a team can take by an opponent. They took the best shots, and then they were able to get back up and regroup and refocus. And it seems like their game plan stayed intact. I mean, nobody appeared to be in panic mode. Hey, Brock Purdy made some wonderful runs, uses mobility, something that I would have liked to see Lamar Jackson do to try to not force passes. He used his legs when needed, and that was very effective. He had 48 yards on the ground, 5 scrambles, man. And Brock Purdy's been doing that all season, though, versus like extending plays, but he actually took off, man, and had some great runs. Deebo Samuels had 8 receptions and 89 yards, and you can tell that offense is a different offense when he's out the lineup versus when he's in the lineup. It's just the San Francisco 49ers have weapons all around the field from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, like I said, they are vulnerable, and that has been shown versus Green Bay and the Detroit Lions. They can be ran on. You can find open spots in that zone. You could take it to them. And here we are again having a rematch of the Super Bowl. You know, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. Like I said in a prior video, they met before, and San Francisco was leading that game 20-10 in the fourth quarter with like 7 minutes left in that game. And Mahomes and Andy Reid and that team in general scored 21 unanswered points to win that Super Bowl 31-20. I will make a video about this Super Bowl matchup and rematch. But man, I know that the Detroit Lions fans in the city, they have something to be proud about. Who knows, you know, the NFL teams changes every year, but to accomplish what they accomplished this year, hey, it's a good thing for them. Obviously, there's no more. Remind you from my previous video that I told you from a betting standpoint, I would take the Detroit Lions plus the 7 points. Obviously, the final score was 34-31. So if you roll with your boy on that, then you would have covered that. They had the game in the bag. I'm not going to say in the bag, but they had a significant lead. And they kind of choked that game away. Like I said, I like the aggressiveness of Dan Campbell. I'm sure his players like that because they feel like, hey, we can move the ball. We can get 2 yards. We can get 1 yard. We've been doing this all year. I don't care if it's the Super Bowl, AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game, or just a regular season game. You have the weapons. You have the personnel to get the job done. And unfortunately for the Detroit Lions, it did not get the job done. And San Francisco 49ers are heading to the Super Bowl, and with a Super Bowl win, they'll be obviously up against with the elites. It's your boy, man. Sports God TV, where we talk sports like religion. And I'm out. Until the next time.